Good day, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Fayette Focus. Harry right with you, and today we're on the road. And we do this every now and then because we like to get out and about, David and I do. We're on the road today, and we are at Old School Barbershop. It's in the Washington Square Shopping Center to talk with Philip Colley, my buddy here. Philip takes care of me and gets my hair all done and makes me look good. But Philip also has a mission that he wants to tell you about because he can use a little help. How you doing, Philip?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
Well, I'm in a ministry doing prison ministry in London, Ohio. We introduced a program there. The course is for business and social entrepreneurs to gain leadership skills and implements to have into churches, businesses, and other organizations.
So when you go up to the prisons in London, what is it that you do? What happens up there?
Well, we go up there and we do round tables of 4 to 10 men, and it's set up, it's not one-way communication, it's two-way communication. And everyone is on the same level playing field. Everyone has a voice, and you have a facilitator that leads the groups, but everyone has an opportunity to interject and to share.
And with all the different experiences that you're going to experience around that table of 8 to 10 men, yeah, you're going to be able to touch on a lot of different things that can help a lot of those people.
Yes, yes.
And it's it's a spiritual meeting.
Yes, it is. What we focus on is not just rehabilitation. That's been the concentration I know over the years in a lot of ways. Yes, there's other spiritual or faith-based kairos and horizon. So when we came in, we just brought in something that matched it and that expounded on what they were already doing, and just brought something new to get the fire burning again, a new program, and the men, accepted it well, and it's just doing real well there.
Now the program is something that you developed?
No, this is something from the Lorette Foundation where we get all our materials. So but the Rafika Connection is the program that we use, and it's the ministry.
Tell us a little bit about that. Explain that to us.
Well, it came to my wife and I, our church, Unity Fellowship Church here in Washington Courthouse, Ohio. My pastor, Keith Clary, invited Tim Reed and his wife Ginger Reed to introduce what they were doing in the prison. And when they introduced it, I felt like God was calling me into that. It was something that I felt I was prepared for. It was something that I said I would never do, actually, but that's how God works sometimes. We are called and purpose to do the things.
Well, isn't it amazing that we think that we are running our lives, but in fact, we're just acting out what He wants us to do.
That's right.
That is, and it's kind of cool. Now, how long have you been doing this up there in Madison County?
It's been about a year now. When we first came in, we introduced it. They piloted us through for 10 weeks because what it is, there's 40 principles that we use. 10 for each book. There's 4 values. Those books being the values being self-government, management, productivity, and leadership. So we took them through the 10 principles of the self-government principles, and once we did that, the men took well to it. They loved what we introduced, so they asked us to do a whole year. So that's what we're doing now. They've now been through 2 books, and we're on the 3rd value. We'll be graduating the men in June there at the prison. And what happened was we took the men that had graduated from the Horizon program, and we trained them to be leaders and facilitators. So when we're not there, they're actually doing the roundtable. So what we're doing now is just overseeing what is going on there.
How many times a month do you go up to the prisons?
We go, we still go maybe twice a month, where we were going every week there for a while to
But with the people you got now, because it's ongoing every day, you're just up there a couple times a month.
Yeah, so that's why we develop leaders there and train them to be facilitators. So now they have roundtables going on Wednesdays and Thursdays, 2 days a week. So, you know, we're building a team. We're looking for more volunteers
I was
to
just
work
getting
within.
getting ready to ask you, Philip, what is it now that the community can do to help you?
Well, anyone that feels that they have a call on their life to, and through experience, you know, that's what God uses me. A lot of what I give them is from my experiences. I've always heard experience is the best teacher, and I've learned that it really is. So I use that in ministry. So I realize that God has forgiven me. Everything in my past is washed away by His blood, and it's thrown in the sea of forgetfulness. And once you realize and no longer ashamed of the things of your past and the things you've done, and it's in recognizing what Christ has done, you have no problem being transparent in the round tables and with the men. They you know, take the transparency and see that you're emptying out your heart, and then it opens them up to do the same thing.
This is a very successful program too, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Tim Reed, one of the founders who introduced it to us and trained us, my wife and I, he is a lieutenant at Lancaster, at the prison there in Lancaster. So the statistics and things are out there that shows that the crime has went down in the prisons, and just the overall the way the men carry themselves and the change of heart that they have. And like I said, it's no longer rehabilitation that we focus on, it's transformation.
Now, somebody out there right now says, I can help. How do they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me, just my business number here at the barber shop, at Old School Barber Shop. 740-606-2957 is.
Because you're in here all the time. I know, but she's in here all the time.
I answer that phone. I use that phone for business.
Okay. And that way there might be somebody out there that says, you know, I got some time that I could help.
Yes,
or
yes.
Maybe he could use some funds to buy materials with, you know, something like that. And I want them to be able to help, because I think it's a good program, folks. I've heard a lot about it from Philip, and I think that, you know, it is a great program to try to help people get their lives turned around a little bit, and then when they're released, you know, they've got a nice foundation to start with.
Yes.
So I want to thank Philip for joining me today on Fayette Focus. Philip, thank you so much, buddy. We'll do it again.
No problem.